Hello everyone, it is Joe here from OmniPoke, the channel that brings you guys everything Pokemon. If you're looking for PTCGO codes, go ahead and check out the Potown store. You can even use the OmniPoke code for an extra 5% discount on your orders. Moving on to today's video, we are going to be looking at Gardevoir and Sylveon tag team. It was kind of like the surprise deck that turned up at Worlds this year. A lot of the Japanese players were piloting it, and a handful of others also sort of picked up on this archetype, trying to make use out of Power Plant as one big reason to play this build, as well as some of the charms to stonewall your way into some victories against some of the popular stuff in the format right now. I've made a few changes since we've seen some of the successful Worlds lists. None of them did well really in Melbourne at all, which leads me to believe that the pure healing build may not be best suited for a slightly more aggressive format. So I'm feeling like adding in 3 Mina to the list to give us a bit more aggression, to give us a bit more early pressure, might be the best way to see this deck going forward, because we do have some great ability charms, Fairy Charms available to deny people. Power Plant plus Stamp is still a very strong combo, and I'm confident that this might be the best Power Plant deck in Standard. You may have seen the Green Zard list yesterday. I was left unconvinced, I'm sure you were as well. So hopefully we're seeing the best Power Plant deck out there today. Let's jump into the list. Looking at the Pokemon, there are only 5 here. 4 of them being Gardevoir Sylveon herself for 260 hit points. Fairy type with Metal Weakness and a resistance to Dark, -20. It has 3 attacks. Fairy Song allows you to search your deck for 2 Fairy Energy and attach them to your Pokemon in any way that you like on the bench, which is pretty cool. It's obviously going to power up other Gardeons for the most part. We do play Tag Switches in here as well, so we do have a Xerneas that we can attach to, or we can Tag Switch onto whenever we need to. So this allows us to have a lot of flexibility with energy, and that's a big part of this deck. As you notice, Kaleidostorm does 150. For 2 Fairy and a Colourless, you get to move any number of energy from your Pokemon to your other Pokemon in any way that you like. So if you want to go non-committal, you're able to take energies from your active to the bench and sort of protect it, allow you to try and attempt Super Scoop Ups the following turn. Or again, with Mina in the list now, you can reburst those energies back to the active. If your opponent tries to gust around you or whatever, that's always okay. Or you can just leave them how you like and just do 150 with no ramifications, which is good enough to knock out regular non-GXs, as well as 2 shots most tag teams, which is pretty awesome. Obviously there's some healing in some tag team decks, but not many out there right now, so trying to Kaleidostorm quickly is a big deal. Magical Miracle GX can do 200 for 3 Fairy, and if you have an additional 3 Fairy, you get to force your opponent to shuffle their entire hand into their deck and leave them with nothing. So it's like a stamp to 0 basically, which is really awesome. So again, it does add to the disruptive element of this archetype. If we are able to use Fairy Songs a bunch of times, use Kaleidostorms effectively, and potentially even things like Tag Switch, the goal is to get to 6 energy at times, and then just ruin your opponent's hand, which is pretty awesome. At the very least as well, it can knock out some regular GXs, like Blacephalon and stuff if you need to, so something to bear in mind. Notably also Heatran as well. Against the Blacephalon matchup, you want to deal with the Heatran straight away, because then you can wall the rest of the deck with the Ability Fairy... Sorry, no, I keep saying Ability Charm. The Ultra Beast charm that we have in the deck. We don't actually play any Ability Charms, because we're going to Power Plant to turn off those abilities instead. But yeah, those are the 3 attacks on our main attacker. We also play 1 Xerneas-GX. It's a 180 hit point basic that has Overrun. It can do a 20-20. We have Aurora Horns that does 120 as well. And Sanctuary GX is the main reason why this makes the cut. It allows you to move all damage from each of your Pokemon to your opponent's active Pokemon. So essentially, if we're absorbing hits with the Gardeons, we can use a switch, we can use a Tag Switch, we can attach, and suddenly Sanctuary off all that damage onto the opponent, which is pretty nice. It's really nice against things like Mew3 that are going to try and sit there doing Latios attacks against you and stuff. You can really punish them with a Sanctuary GX, which is really nice, and sort of undo all that damage they're doing to us, which is pretty cool. Also, you can just throw this out there, force the opponent to gust around it, or knock it out, and then they can be stamped to 1 prize card, thanks to the 2 prizes this guy gives up. So he's a freebie that we can try and weave in whenever possible, which is really nice. The other option is like Mimikyu GX, but I think this one's a little stronger for exactly the Mew3 matchup because of that Latios. Onto the trainers. I've already mentioned Stamp a few times. It is a main disruptive tool that we have. Obviously we have greens and Coach Trainer, which can help us like dig specifically for this card, or just grow a big hand size to have this readily available for us, which is always really nice. We try and combine it with Power Plant as often as possible. We are going to play 1 copy of Energy Spinner. Oftentimes you see 2 copies in many lists, but we do have 3 Mina in the build to try and sort of make up for that. But Energy Spinner, obviously amazing when you go second. You can go ahead and get 3 basic energy cards instead of 1. I still think you choose to go first, but I'm not 100% sure, you know. I've not played enough Gardeon to know whether it's correct to actually choose to go second, because your spinner becomes super live and your Fairy Song is just instantly there. So I think it's genuinely worth experimenting going second the whole time with this archetype. I don't know for certain. I've asked a few people about it and they're sort of like, yeah, just go first and get manual attachments on top, but at the same time, you do get a lot of value going second, which is pretty cool to fall back on at the very least. From there, we have a couple other 2-ofs. We have a couple Cherish Balls to get our attackers out. We get the Tag Switches, so we can combine that with, you know, Kaleidostorms and make a big miracle happen, which is awesome. Or for Fairy Song, going straight into Kaleidostorm, which is always good. Switching, because we have 2 retreat cost on all of our Pokemon. 3 Super Scoop Up as some like burst, heal, as well as moving stuff out the way. Obviously, you can Kaleidostorm energies off yourself so that the Scoop Ups are less painful, or if you haven't Kaleidostormed them off, you can Tag Switch them off to something else that you then play a Super Scoop Up pretty pain-free. I still think, you know, there is a lot of one-hit KO going on in the format right now, but the things that get around the charms sometimes try and like poke you, some like non-GXs and stuff like that. So scooping those up is pretty important, and still winning the Malamar matchup is relevant, of course, as well. So I like 3 SSU overall. We then have 4 copies of Gear to help get towards our supporters, 4 mixed herbs for additional healing and getting around paralysis and confusion and whatnot, 4 customs as our main means of gusting. Moving on to the stadiums, we have Wondrous Labyrinth, which again is really nice alongside Stamp or alongside the Miracle. You can drop this at the right time and try and make the opponent have less outs to attack into, which is always very good. And then we have the 4 Power Plant, obviously amazing against Mewtwo. You hate seeing them copy Tag Purge the entire game, it's really annoying. So we want to try and Power Plant to buy ourselves ways of hitting them, which is pretty important. Also, obviously trying to jam this early is annoying for everything that's Dead A based, because, you know, that's Pikarom, that's Ability Zard, that's Mewtwo in the opening turns as well. So I'm maxing out copies of this card, because I just want to plant that down straight away and say, do you have an Insta Stadium Removal plus Cherish Ball in hand? If not, you're going to have a very slow turn. Onto the supporters, I have mentioned Mina. I do think accelerating our win condition is really important. There are so many tag team focused decks out there right now that just trying to smash 150 on turn 2 alongside these disruptive pieces is just a lot of pressure. So bursting more energies into play, I think, is really important, so that we're not just being passive and waiting to heal off this damage when we could just start getting to the races a little bit quicker, which is really nice. For Coach Trainer, obviously, as long as you don't start Xerneas, this is a solid draw 4 throughout the entire game and helps continue to grow the hand for our, you know, customs, our herbs, trying to stack up things like Super Scoop Ups for the turn where we need it to hit, get the Stamp Power Plant combo rolling, all that good stuff. And greens also is just obviously a critical card here. It can pick out integral pieces as we go through the game. Onto the tools, we are playing 2 copies of the Lightning Fairy Charm. I do like playing 2 of the most important ones in the Psychic and Lightning right now. Because Picarom's such an important matchup, sometimes they only play 2 Lysander Labs, you can try and catch them off guard. Again, if they're having to Dead A change one away or something, they can just instantly lose, which wouldn't be the case if you only played like 1 copy, so trying to outlast them is a pretty important deal. And obviously this is just going to try and wall out those GXs. For the Psychic Charm, this is obviously for Mewtwo once again, so they can't damage you. We play this over the Ability Charm because we obviously try and Power Plant them at the same time, so something to bear in mind. They can try and burst through this with things like copying Double Blaze and whatnot, so do bear that in mind. It's a soft answer, but it's definitely a powerful one that we have to give ourselves some turns. We are also playing the Ultra Beast Fairy Charm. If you can get through the Heat Trans against Blacephalon, you pretty much just win the game because this charm will see you throughout the rest. If they're going to try and attack you with Nagas, we have way too many Scoop Ups and Herbs for that sort of strategy, so we should be fine from then on, especially because we just knock out Naganadels easy peasy. And then we just have 10 Fairy. It's plenty to see in those opening turns alongside the green spinner combo. Mina can pluck them out of the deck for us as well, and hopefully Fairy Songing them into play should do the trick. There are a few other cards you could consider in here. I've considered Lusamine and a few other stadiums. Lusamine, obviously a cool option to help win that stadium war. I've actually thought about Viridian. It does give your opponents some pseudo help here and there, which is the main reason why it's not in here, because we are mainly disruption based deck. But it can help you get those early Fairy energies just to manually attach, because we only paid 10. I could also see us going up to 11 energies, by the way, because it can otherwise be a little bit annoying if you miss attachments. Like obviously missing it on turn 1, but equally like turn 2 if you're trying to combine it with Mina and stuff, it gets really annoying. So I feel like more outs to energy may not be that bad. You could also consider Lysander Labs. For those matchups where the charms aren't helpful for us. This can be disruptive against skateboards and spell tags and stuff. I think our Malamar matchup is fine, especially with the Minas now, to help us be quicker against them and put them under pressure, which they may not necessarily expect. I don't think we need the Lysander Labs, but it could be a card that you want to play in here. For Pokemon, there wouldn't be other things I would play, unless you want to go down the Miss Magius line. Miss Magius may be sort of well, seeing as though we've seen it like not be successful recently, it may just have been like a flop way of building the deck, but it may have like a new breath of life into it, because there is of course the new Weezing that we have in the format, which is also treasurable. So if you want to have a mysterious treasure package with some Miss Magius, some Dust Stones, some Weezings, and an element of Jesse James, that could be a way for you to disrupt the opponent's hand. And get them to that low hand size early on, especially with things like Reset Stamp. If one Gardeon's gone down, Stamp, Jesse James, Weezing is not far away. So, I mean, that's always something to bear in mind. I think that's kind of combo orientated though, and I'm going for a more similar list to what we've seen do pretty well at Worlds. So, we're going to jump into some games now and see how this does, because I wasn't all that pleased with how the Reshizard did yesterday, so I'm hoping that this Power Plant deck performs a little better. We'll see though. We have a pretty insane start. Getting all of our Pokemon and a Cherish Ball basically is insane. We're going second as well, choice or not, but that means we can start Fairy Songing ASAP, which is no bad thing. So looks like we're up against Triple Acceleration. Interesting. We are kind of anti-meta, so there can be matchups that you just don't win against. So that's a bit of a roll of the dice that you have to run with this deck. So it'll be interesting to see what we're up against. Triple Acceleration Energy. Okay, this fan club should give us a bit more info. Oh, okay, it's Whimsicott with Magcargo and Welder. Welder Whims. Which sounds like a horrible matchup. We do obviously have Power Plants galore, but it still doesn't feel all that comfy. We're going to Mina. I'm also going to Cherish Ball another card out of our deck here pretty happily. Let's have some scouting. Customs are here. Our stamps, all 4 Power Plants are here. Ability Charm would be very good for this matchup, but alas, it's not here. Not in the list. I think we take the 2-prizer. Now, they can be certainly a one-hit KO deck if everything goes well for them, so something to be on the lookout for. We currently don't have access to Reset Stamp, and that might be a bit of a problem, but I like putting this amount of pressure on early. 4 energies into play is like immediately threatening like a magical miracle in like 1 or 2 turns time, so... Oh no, they play Alolan Ninetales. This is one thing we cannot beat, guys. We literally can't beat this card. We have no way of beating this card at all. Even if we were going to use move all damage counters, this says prevent all effects, so you can't like lump all the damage on them. You can heal your guys, but you will deck yourself out. So Like I said, we're an anti-meta deck. I'm going to drop the well played here and let him know that he has won the game because we have no answer to this. He will not bench a full board. I'd like to think he wouldn't anyway. And even if he did, we don't have enough gusting to get around this stuff, so we should just leave it there. And move on to the next game. As I said, that's kind of the nature of this archetype. We're trying to beat the stuff that you expect, so when you face anything unexpected, it does get a little bit hairy. So, alright, this game we are going first. Looks like our only supporter in hand is Mina again. Not too bad when we can be threatening Kaleidostorms early, but you do prefer to see the draw supporters early. Let's go for that Mina out the gates. We are up against a Mew 3, so both Fairy Charms are here, all 4 Power Plants, the Stamps. We don't have all of our customs. Let's throw that up there. I think I'll play Spinner because we just want to draw a supporter basically. And we'll pass it there. They sent a heartbreak emoji our way before even starting their turn. Well, Viridian's helpful for us. We don't mind that. They're still going to Acrobike first. Jirachi not too helpful. There's the Latios. Getting rid of the new Charizard. Oh, they're just going to Star Search with their Jirachi to get some energies out. Okay. Drawing a greens is very good for us, obviously. Let's go ahead and get a Charm. And another greens, I think, is fine. You know what? It may just be trying to build this hand. No, more greens is always good. They're too good. Another card you could consider is Adventure Bag in this deck, of course, because Adventure Bag is super annoying for... Oh, it's not super annoying, it just thins the deck. Do I want to burn this Tag Switch? No, I just want to Kaleidostorm. You could think about putting Labyrinth in, but I don't think we need to. I'm going to move 1 energy off. I think because we have herbs, we can just stick with 1 right now. Remember, he can hit through this ability charm with a Reshizard. Currently, though, it looks like he's got Psychic Energies on himself. And that doesn't count towards the big double blaze. They're going to attach to the back. Looks like they're going to be trying to just tag perch the whole time. Which is kind of like stalemating. Which isn't bad for us at all, because we can just build up Fairy Songs, get a bunch of energies into play, set up a Magical Miracle, with a Power Plant combo, and then hopefully they don't find Stadium off of 0 cards and draw for turn, and then we can break that lock. So Tag Purge buys us time, and we're a deck that loves having time on our hands. We really do like that. We don't need the Mina here, we can just manually attach and go for a Fairy Song. This is where we can greens. Definitely grab these now. I want to Coach Trainer to build the hand, but still have greens available for whatever we want to do. Just going to try and build this hand. Well, 6 energies are now in play. Tag Switch Viridian is available for us if we want a Magical Miracle next turn. They've only played 1 Counter Stadium so far. Sorry, they've only played 1 Stadium so far. So we might want to try and back and forth the Stadium War a little bit more before I Magical Miracle. See a Welder. They're going to start attaching to the Zard, which is definitely understandable. He is a big old threat. They're going to hit us for 30. Oh, they're going to switch into the Latios and then they change and decide after that. Lots of gears going into the bin. Treasuring after the fact, which is a bit weird. Dragonite. Looks like they're happy enough to go back into the Mewtwo. Okay. So we have a couple options. Customing Zard and getting an early smack on it isn't bad at all. Other alternatives are I mean, that gets punished by him. No, it doesn't get punished by much. I think that's fine. Alright, let's get rid of the gear. We definitely need this Charizard to get gone because he a big old threat. He can avoid our charming charms. I think I hold the energies where they are though. If I move them anywhere else, we get punished by customs too much. I'm going to treasure a Zard away. Oh, sorry, a Dragonite away. Custom catcher for draw. Hearth. This could be... Oh, they got rid of another Hearth. That's very good for us. They only got 1 energy card. So they do have Welder, but they can't Double Blaze for the full value. They would just have to Flare Strike. That also might mean that they're running low on energy cards altogether. There are a lot of energies in play. He only has 5 cards left in his deck, guys. We could be reset stamping for deck out soon. They really have turboed through their deck. Treating so that they can Solgaleo? Yeah. Wow. Incredible. I guess we just take the opportunity to smack him here. I think the energies are fine as they are. So the bench to Mew3, if he has enough energy, he can retreat and double blaze for 3 prizes. But he is really running out of stuff. We only saw him half for 1 fire as well. Yep. Psychic energy isn't fire energy, dude. Okay. Okay. Alright. I still think we'd be in a pretty good spot there. If he takes the knockout there, we already have the response knockout like easily available. And that's basically all his energy gone. And he had 5 cards left in deck, so... That's the thing, we don't mind the stalemate because we can break that stalemate whilst giving them 0 cards in their hand, so... Pro tip, if you're playing Mewtwo against Gardeon, it's better for you to try and just Turbo Strike energies into play than it is to try and slowly get there with Tag Purge. The operative word there is the word slow. Alright, looks like we're up against a Pikarom. So I guess we want to get a Charm down. Probably just going... We can't die straight away, right? We have both our Charms, we have a bunch of Power Plants. Okay, this seems fine. Pop that on. I don't mind holding Spinner. Every draw is better than an energy, right? Fine, fine. Okay. Let's see what stadiums they're playing in their list. If they're playing the Kaiwin list, they play Power Plants, and that's going to be no bueno against us, but it looks like there's the first labs. Putting down this Lightning Charm basically means he can't use Thunder Mountain, though. It's like he prized Thunder Mountain, basically. Which, as we know, does slow down Pikarom quite a bit. Excuse me, just get some more water. Looks like they're going to be Volknering here. Going to radar away some yellows so they can set up that Prism. Looks like Zeraora and Dedenne are the picks. Everything's pretty standard. Choo-Choo, Electric Power being thrown into the flames. We like to see that. Let's see. Ooh, got rid of 2 catchers. So, no attack, which is excellent. We are obviously going to bounce the first labs. And we're going to make sure we have another stadium removal. And let's just get some more energies into play. Our opponent's still taking a nap. Looks like they're going to reset stamp us. Okay, I don't hate it. It's more cards in our hand. There's the next Labs. So it looks like he played it to try and get the Power Plant out of our hand. Which definitely makes sense. Now we're going to Lily. They basically need to find Pokémon or Coco here. Otherwise we get rid of their second stadium and we probably just win. They can then only attack us with Coco Prism and Zapdos and Hooper and stuff, but Hooper does nothing, obviously. Like, he could power up a Mind Shock maybe, but let's be real. We have way too much heal for that sort of shenanigans. Yeah, like you see right there, he just got rid of a Thunder Mountain because it's too important for him to have the Labs in play. They do find the Pokémon though, so he can actually smack us this turn with full Blitz. Day change. Still have Stellish to go. Gonna see the Volkner. There's the switch. And they're gonna full blitz. Oh, they're gonna skateboard as well. Yep. Seems good, they get the 150 in while they can. Alright, well that's always happening. That's 2 Labs in the bin, so we're already pretty happy with ourselves. That can go on. So mixed herbs like good, but we got to get around the Choo Choo. They just straight up concede when they see 2 Fairy Charm Lightnings, and that makes sense. We could definitely grind out Pikarom from there, and now you're seeing why I prefer this build. Because it literally just says no to some decks, whereas Green Zard never says no to anyone, it just kind of lets it happen. Now, Gardeon does still have some bad matchups. I think Ability Zard being a hard loss is a big yikes, because that's a popular archetype right now. So this does come with its risks, but it essentially has like some 80-20s and then some 20-80s in its opponent's favour. Whereas Green Zard is more 50-50-ish, but I would say the majority of the matchups are negative right now. So Gardeon at least takes some big Ws right now. It can take some scalps out there. So that's cool to see. Alright, this might be the Ability Zard that puts us in our place though. Definitely looking like an Ability Zard. All the signs are there. Mainly the Charizard that he put down. Yeah, it looks like Ability Zard. See the tails as well. Okay. Definitely a difficult matchup. I'm hoping that Mina lets us put more pressure on the opponent quicker and get to Magical Miracle quicker, if ever. So, that's got to be the plan. Another card we could consider playing is Choice Helmet. It means that Reshizards can't just poke you for 30 damage. Instead I'm just playing like as much healing as possible, but you can think about adding in an additional tool to this list for that purpose. Alright. Let's get our next Gardeon out. Let's play a gear to inform our decision on the greens. Okay, we'll take the Coach here. I think I'll actually play the Coach here. Keep greens, because it's such a vital resource. Keep greens for reacting to whatever he does next turn. Let's grow this hand a little bit more. There's nothing I specifically want from the greens this turn, so let's just get some energies up in here. Biggest problem in this matchup is that they have the big one-hit KO from the Double Blaze, and because they play so many energy cards, that Victini Prism can definitely do a number on us. So I think one of the only ways we can win is if he's forced to bench a Victini Prism and Dede change, so that like we could Grinch it. Looks like he's doing some fancy com plays to thin an extra card from his deck here. Or an extra few cards from his deck after, before Dede changing. Wow, all the comms. Okay, he's dancing with his Pokemon right now. Fire's gone. There's the welder, so they will be slapping us in the face here. Which is not nice. He's also got a Turtonator in play, which can also achieve a KO on us, which is not great. I really want to hit him, so I can set up the Magical Miracle for next turn. So we probably just got to go Stamp, Stadium, hit. That's probably what we're going to go for here. We currently lose to him finding another welder and stadium, basically. Customing this doesn't seem good enough. We have to hit this. We have to get through this active guy. So it's just going to be Stamp Stadium, I think. I'd rather Wondrous over Power Plants because you can just find the raw materials to welder. We don't want to deal with that. So Stamp number 1. This can come in. Let's smack him. Switch is a good card for him. That's some Stellar Wish. He could have paid Retreat and Stellar Wish still, but, you know. Anything that involves Stellar Wish is not good for us. They're taking the time on it, which means it's not a snap pick. Which is at least some good news. Half is definitely a good pick, though. There is the giant hearth. The hearth away at Heat Factory. Okay. They're going to attach to the turtle. Are they going to come in and swing? Yeah, of course they are. That's a lot of damage. The good news is there's currently no Ninetales in play, so we can work on healing this guy in a moment. For now I can buy myself a free... I could even Sanctuary GX if I wanted to. Potentially, if I could find a Tag Switch. Let's see what the Coach gets us. Coach gets us a bit of healing. Also gets me some binnables, which is nice. So... how bad is a mixed herbs attach, switch into Xerneas, pass? I'm trying to build towards Magical Miracle. Probably. Kaleidostorm sounds pretty bad. Feels way too dangerous. Yeah, we gotta spend our free turn here, I think. Throw this away while we're at it. They have another switch. They can do more Stellar Wishing. It's pretty gross. Obviously any welder spells trouble for us. Oh boy, they're playing the Scoop Up build. That's also really bad for us. Oh, they throw it away. Wow. That must mean their hand is pretty gas. Or they're fine just doing this. Well, the heal has to happen. This is our last stand. We're still in range of everything, so I've probably just got a greens for more heal. Oh, I can't do any more heal. Oh no. Okay. So, that means I need to... I lose if I use Mina Magical Miracle. I lose if I... I guess I could greens for Tag Switch. No, because I need a Ball Search as well. It's got to be Switch Pokemon though, right? Yeah, this isn't good though. No, because then I just die to this coming in and hitting 300. So I need to disrupt his... He's already got Stadium and this. Man, this is a risky turn for us then. So we've got to do this. And hope the Stamp to 1 plus Stadium removal gets rid of his energies. This is risky, but it's the only play we can make. It's pretty gross though, because he has Stellar Wish. 4, 10, 11, 12 energy is gone, of about 18 total. We lose to any energy. Stellar Wish is our enemy here. Skateboard's not a very good card to take, which is good for us. Oh, he had energy. Okay, fine. The BM Stellar Wish? Okay. Sure. Okay. Well, that does showcase how weak we are against this matchup. I mean, hoping for them to not have an energy card is a lot to ask for there. Was a stamp to 1, to be fair. They had already gone through a lot of their stadiums as well, so there was a chance that they miss. If they missed for that one turn, we could go for Customs Magical Miracle on the Turtonator. And then it would be Customs the Dene. Oh no, we would have to Customs Kaleidostorm. So we could Customs the Dene for game. Over a couple of turns. But yeah, that would all be difficult to navigate through. We'd have to keep avoiding basically them finding Victini Prism Welder. Which would be a lot to ask for, to be fair. So yeah, that was the deck, guys. Let me know what you think about the Mina build. It came in a couple times. Let us just start smacking earlier. It got us towards Magical Miracle earlier. We didn't actually do it against anyone, to be honest. We just sat there. I mean, against like the Mew 3 and the Pikarom, they were set up, but they were just conceding into us, so they didn't know the true despair. But it looked like that would have been the only way out of that matchup at the end. We weren't able to get there, unfortunately. So let me know what you guys think about this list. In the comments below. Do you think it's the best power plant build out there? How would you try and build it differently based on the Japanese lists? I'll hear it all in the discussion down below. For now though, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in another video tomorrow. Cheers.